Hello everyone, my name is Saksham Dikshit and this is my channel Pentest Diaries. So today I'd like to discuss with you what you can do if you have a low privilege shell on any system, which we call it as a desktop. So before we start, let me introduce myself first. I'm working in this security industry since 2010, an information security professional based out at Bangalore, India. Subsequently, I was employed in security roles by bank and many other organizations. I use this channel as a means of organizing everything I have learned and want to learn, and as a way to share those things with you. If you want to connect me on LinkedIn, here's a link of my LinkedIn profile, and even I have provided the link of my blog. So now let's start with today's topic. So for the today's topic, as I already told you, we have to discuss about it. If we have a low privilege shell on any system, so what exactly we can do it in such a way. So here's a Windows 10 system. It's a system present in a domain itself, but this user is not having admin rights. So the person can do it a normal activity, but if the person is trying to access any admin rights stuffs, then at that time the person is not in a position to do that. So in such a scenario, what exactly we can do it for the if we just want to make it a user as a administrator of this local system, so how can we exploit that? So that is the first thing. So it's enumeration part I'll try to cover up over here, and in the next part I'll try to cover how to exploit it and gain administrator right on that system. So the first thing, as we are already aware that as this system is coming under the domain, so definitely day-to-day basis or whatever the patching cycle of the organization, the patches will be pushed to the desktop. So our first task is we just have to check what are the current packages is present on a system, like when it is get installed on the system, and those things we try to get it figure out. Okay, so these are the things we can get it by just firing this command. We can get the details like what are the packages, when it get installed, and what are the KBIDs and everything. We can get it. If anything is vulnerable, we can do it directly over here. Okay, this is a simple step. Other than that, if we have any specified KBID, we can try this also. That is another thing. But this is not the appropriate way by which we can go ahead further. It take a lot of time for us to consume. We have to search the KBID first, then accordingly we have to search each and everything. So it's far better for us to proceed further. I think we should go for some other option where we can figure out what is the easy way to get that, how can we exploit this system, this desktop appropriately. So for that, there is a way. If we have a low privilege shell, we simply have to fire one command, system info, on our system. This command is working even for a low privilege user. So once you fire this command, we are getting these details. You are not supposed to do anything with this. You simply have to copy these details, and now paste it on one of our file. Okay, now what we can do, we simply have to go to our Kali Linux system, and over here we are using a Windows exploit suggester. It's available on the GitHub. I'll provide you the link also for it. If you want, I'll show you right away. So this is a GitHub link through which you can download this exploit. Okay, so now we'll just go inside of it, Kali Linux, and try to see what are the file present over here. So just to trigger this file, we need to fill this file first. Okay, so we have to open this file. As I'm seeing that I have already put it those whatever the thing we have copied after the system info content, I have already pasted over here, so it's already present, so there is no need to paste it once again. Okay, now we'll begin with our first command for this. So first of all, before going for anything, we simply have to fire this command so that the whatever the database is present right now in the market, it just get updated and we get that XLS accordingly. Okay, so it just hardly take us some time, and now we get that XLS, updated XLS as per the current date. Okay, now the next thing we have to do, we simply have to fire this command. So what is happening over here, this is a file, Python file, this is the database which is built over there, so we simply have to change the database like as per the current database which is built. Okay, so we simply have to fire it. Okay, so this is the updated database which we get it over here, like this is the system info, this is the parameter, and this is the file which we have built it earlier. Okay, then we simply have to fire this and wait for that to get it done. So by this we get all the details about it belongs to our configuration of our systems, whatever that operating system versions, everything. Accordingly we get the exploits. We have to figure out by this way, like is there any possibility any update, any software is present on the system having a vulnerable version, so we can try to fetch it out by this way. Okay, then after that there is another way. This is the second way by which we can do that. There is another way in which on the system itself, like if we take example right now we are on a Windows 10 system itself and we like to proceed further, we do not want to go on any Kali Linux or anything like that. So what I'll do, I'll simply have to move it to the PowerShell directly. Then I go to the section, so in this case we are using there is another GitHub link, we are using it for the same thing. It's also for the enumeration purpose, like by which we can get the details about it. Okay, so this is the GitHub link by which you can get this file, which I tried to execute it right away. Okay, so before going for the execution, the first thing we have to do it, we simply have to change our execution policy so that it allows us to run this script. We have changed that execution policy. Now we simply have to trigger it. Simply fire the command. Now what is the next command? We have to fire it over here. Okay, this is the command which provides us all the vulnerable stuff is present on the system itself as per the database at the backend. So ignore these errors which you're getting in the initial phase. So these are the stuff is present on the system itself, and accordingly, like right now as my system is up to date, so I'm not having any vulnerability. But if it's a possibility like a system is not updated, or there is a possibility of whoever the person is using it, that person has not clicked on update it and not allow the administrator policies to be pushed it, so it's just a possibility. Just because of that the system is not up to date, so we can use that scenario, and in that case we can exploit the system and reach to the privilege level. So these are the only steps I just want to share it with you today. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. See you next time. Bye bye.